Hi there. My name is John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we are part of the ELCA. And welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text and we tie them to an item from the junk drawer, the garage, or the kids' room, or your kitchen, or today maybe even from the grocery store. This is for the narrative lectionary, and we are looking at one of those stories of the parable where people are sent out, the servants are sent out to invite folks, and then they're beat up and they're hurt and they're some killed, and then sends out again and they say, go invite everybody, the good and the bad. And then of course we have the person that is there without the robes, and he gets cast out into outer darkness. And children's sermon galore. Anyway, it's like, whoa, I'm looking at that line that everyone is invited. Invite everyone, the good and the bad. Whoa, talk about, it's like, what does that mean? Does that mean that God's invitation is for all? And that's weird. And then how do we tell whether something is good or bad? And it reminds me of the other parable of the wheat and the weeds and all of that. So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking about a bunch of bananas. Yeah, a bunch of bananas, or maybe an avocado that's almost too ripe. Something that's hard to tell. Is this good or is this bad? A bunch of bananas. It's like, it's beaten up. There's bruises. It's like, is this good or is this bad? I mean, maybe some of them fresh enough, or some of them, do they need to be ripened? Can I make banana bread out of it? What can we do with this? And there's something about that, in that springboard about what we're called to do, who God calls, and God calls you and me. Maybe there's times I look at it, it's like, God can't call me. I'm bad. I mean, I know what's in my heart. I look at this bunch of bananas, and I'm one of the bananas that's on the side that's a little bit more bruised and a little bit more hurt, and no one can do something with me. Where the head baker says, oh, this is perfect to make banana bread out of. This, oh, the sugars in this are so sweet and so wonderful. That how God sees us and how we see ourselves can be different. This is a springboard, and I'm looking at the idea of that, and I'm trying to figure out a way to move that in, to speak to the kids about how, and I'm really focusing on that one line when God goes out and says, invite both the good and the bad, and how God sees us. And again, this is where I read this and I go, thank God for grace. Grace, 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 grace upon grace, that God claims us and holds us and says, you are my child. You might think you are beyond, but no. And one of the things that I like reminding folks, and I'll remind myself as I remind you, is that parables and stories in Scripture, they're not always prescriptive. They could be descriptive, of laying out a story, and it's not like this is the way things have to be. I'm giving you a story to make a point, but that it is not a mirror image of what is to take place. We could spend hours on this, digging in and text study. I'm sure you will. But that line, the line that catches my imagination, my I wonder, is when they're sent out and said, out of frustration, go invite everybody, the good and the bad, just get them in here. There's something there. That's my springboard. I'm hoping some of this might catch your imagination, and that it might be for you a springboard for your children's sermon. Thank you so much for the work you're doing with your kids. Thank you for the love you're sharing your families. You are rocking it. And thank you. And we will see you next week. Peace.